So, Brandon Marcello, we were watching you in the preview screen. You weren't doing anything untoward, but you have on a Hutchins barbecue hat. Give us more on Hutchins barbecue, Brandon Marcello.
It's good. It's in Texas.
It's in where?
It's in Texas.
It's in Texas. It's in Dallas, Dallas area. Heard a lot of great things about it. Finally went this past summer. It's very, 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 very good.
So Terry Black's or Hutchins?
I like Terry Black's. Terry Black's is good.
I've never been.
Oh, yeah. You need to try Terry Black's. Austin, Dallas, there's several of them. A lot of people, Franklin and Austin, a lot of people, they wait in line for that. And I had several people tell me, don't mess with that, go to Terry Black's. It's just as good and there's no line. And they were right. And it was fantastic.
Yeah, I will tell you, I like hats. So I'm not a connoisseur of barbecues, but I like good hats. So you chose right. I like that hat. It's a good-looking hat.
Bald people like us usually do.
Yeah, true.
We got a lot we want to cover with you, but I'll do what we talked about most recently. Win or lose for Indiana, and I don't presume you have their schedule memorized, but they are at Oregon. Win or lose, they play Wisconsin, Purdue, and UCLA among their final 6 games. That's 3 awful football teams. This is a huge game for Indiana, but they almost feel like they have a game in hand, Brandon, to do this in back-to-back years, which would seem like astronomical odds that they could pull this off.
Yeah, and with Penn State already losing and probably going to lose again, it sets up well for Indiana despite the strength of schedule discussion. I said in the preseason that I thought only 3 Big Ten teams would get in. At the time, I said it was Ohio State, Penn State, and then a third wild card of Indiana or Illinois. Well, Oregon has surpassed my expectations because of, I thought they were just too young and they would struggle early in the season, especially when they had to go to Penn State early. But that got flipped on its head. So right now, to me, it looks like it's Oregon, Ohio State, and Indiana. As much as we talk about strength of schedule and all that, it's still very advantageous if you're in the Big Ten or SEC to schedule relatively easy. And if you can get a break in your conference scheduling, even the better. And it's even better for Indiana, to be quite honest, if they don't make the Big Ten championship game. You don't have to play an extra game and potentially lose it.
Brandon, it is no surprise there are 3 SEC teams in the top 6. The surprising thing is the 3 teams, Ole Miss, A&M, Oklahoma. Of those 3, who do you believe in the most? Gun to head, one of these 3 has got to be in the college football playoff. Is it Ole Miss, A&M, or Oklahoma?
Oklahoma, if John Mateer stays healthy. I've seen them, I've got some bias there just because I've seen them play in person twice this season. I think Mateer has just been a complete game changer for them offensively. They've got a great defensive line. I think they're going to tear up Texas's offensive front this week in Red River. I really like Oklahoma this year. If John Mateer stays healthy, A&M though, I think with A&M, we just all kind of sit back and I think we're all kind of like, well, let's wait till what happens in November because it seems like that's when they always fall apart. It doesn't matter who the coach has been, Kevin Sumlin, Jimbo Fisher, even Mike Elko last year. But A&M looks like it's got some of the pieces together. I was asked earlier this week, who's the best team in Texas? And I barely got Texas Tech edging out A&M because Tech has the more complete defense, and they're able to get to the passer a little bit easier. But A&M, analytically and everything you look at, looks like a playoff team this year.
Listen, I know you're not an ethologist.
What?
An ethologist. But do you know if elephants only remember good things in the past? Because the Alabama fans I'm around, they don't remember this Florida State game at all. They're just all moving forward right now. This the elephants say is Alabama's mascot.
What did you Google? What is an elephant expert called?
People that understand animal behavior are ethologists.
Gotcha.
I thought elephants don't forget.
Yeah, they don't forget. They don't forget.
That's my question to you is how come Alabama fans forget the bad stuff and only remember the good stuff?
Because of the playoff era. And also because it's not a conference game. So you get those two things, you can erase that quickly. You can afford a loss early in the season, especially early in the season. It's better to do so early in the year, get that down. And then also I think it's just very clear, I'm sure, to Alabama fans, the way they've been playing, they look so much better, especially defensively. You got Ty Simpson throwing the ball and slinging it around. You know, if Bama was undefeated right now, if they had beaten Florida State, Ty Simpson would be in that Heisman Trophy conversation, in my opinion. And I think potentially, if they continue to win out here the way I think they will, he'll be in the Heisman conversation near the end of the year, because of all the numbers, the splits you look at with him, he's been just absolutely wheeling and dealing. And yeah, I find it very easy and relatable that Alabama can easily forget that Florida State game, because you get that help because of the playoff era. You can lose a game early in the season and still be fine as long as you bounce back. And they've bounced back perfectly so far.
Brandon Marcello is with us at B Marcello. You see him on CBS Sports, and follow him on social media and go like all of his content there. Does great video work and good work for CBS Sports at B Marcello on social media. He's with us on the Alexander Shinora Trial Attorneys Hotline. Lance made it his upset alert yesterday. I like it too. Tennessee is a 12.5-point favorite against Arkansas. And Brandon is smiling like he might like it too. That is a program you have gotten very close to. It's in your backyard there. Give me the scenario in which Bobby Petrino ends up with this job full time. Does that exist?
Yes, I'm actually writing a story about that. Been working on it for the past week and a half. I can't wait to publish it. We got some interesting stories.
I can't wait to read it. That was a heck of a tease right there. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very excited for it. I'm so excited. I'm elated. I got some access on something.
What a sell. Anyway, I love this.
I saw a piece of Arkansas history in person that's related to Bobby Petrino.
That can only be the neck brace.
Or the motorcycle.
So,
yeah.
Or the co-ed.
Yeah.
You'll find out at cbssports.com.
Could be a torn pair of jeans.
I mean, there's a lot of things that could be. This is fascinating.
Bloodied motorcycle boots.
I am so ready for this story now.
Yeah, your question. I'm not so confident that they're going to upset Tennessee. The defense is just terrible. They've changed some things. They've even changed their base defense under their interim defensive coordinator, Chris Wilson, who you guys might remember was formerly the coordinator at Mississippi State when they got things rolling under Dan Mullen way back when. But the talent level and the depth is just not there defensively. The linebackers are the absolute weak point for them. They don't quite have a good pass rush. I've been hearing that they're probably going to try and move some guys around along the defensive front, moving guys inside and outside that just didn't quite fit in the scheme to begin with. So that gives me a pause for concern, because we know Tennessee can score a lot of points anyway, and against this Arkansas defense, it concerns me. But offensively, you know that they're going to get ramped up. The problem is, though, the last 6 quarters for them, Notre Dame and then the second half against Memphis, they've only scored 16 points.
Yeah.
So something's off there too.
Yeah. Who was that offensive coordinator? It was Bobby Petrino. Yeah.
So, but I also think part of that was, I'm not so sure that players were all kind of bought in, because heartbreaking losses in the final 2 minutes to Ole Miss and Memphis on the road, where they easily could have won those games. All of a sudden they're 4-0. This Arkansas team is better than what their record shows, but their defense is just atrocious, and you can't fix that overnight. They had a bye week. Long-winded answer. I don't think they finished within a touchdown of Tennessee this week.
I do love the way when he's teasing the story, we all think like Arkansas has their version of the Smithsonian, the Soothonian, and that we walk into this museum of Arkansas history and there is a neck brace in a glass case that we just think that's existent in the wild.
Do you put the Sugar Bowl hat right on top of it?
Yeah.
Like his head was in there?
Yeah, so I can't wait to see what this story is. But if you're ever in Fayetteville, go check out the Soothonian.
So Brandon, you covered the Auburn Tigers back in the day, and they've got a big one on Saturday night, and things haven't gone well for Hugh Freeze. If they lose this game, they'll be 0-3 to start the conference schedule for 3 consecutive years. Kirby has owned Auburn 9-1 against the Tigers. Cam Newton's going to have his jersey retired Saturday night. It will be a hell of an atmosphere. Do you think Auburn's got enough to push this Georgia team out and get this, I guess, the biggest win in Hugh Freeze's 3 years at Auburn?
I think it's possible, but nothing gives me signs that that's going to happen. It's baffling to me. They've got a top 5 receiver core, I think, in the country, and they have been unable to utilize it all really this season, because partially Jackson Arnold, but mostly that offensive line. That offensive line has been a complete disappointment. I was getting reports in the offseason saying it's the best offensive line they've had since like 2017. It's been very long. We all know that's really what they've struggled with. But you couple that with just Jackson Arnold's reluctance to get rid of the ball, and then also just some of the scheme things they're working in that just don't seem to be working toward his strengths. I don't have much confidence they're going to be able to mount that upset. But with it being in Jordan-Hare, and the atmosphere, I give them a shot there. But if they can't throw the ball against Georgia, they're gonna get beat. It's Auburn's one of the more frustrating teams in the SEC this year because they've got the pieces to be so much better than they are offensively, and yet they just can't figure it out. I mean, it's like having a Ferrari out there at receiver, and you've got a truck driver driving it and sitting in there watching DVDs on his built-in screen and spitting in his spit cup and everything. Like, what are we doing? Jackson Arnold, I think I was at the OU game and he got sacked 9 times, and I would say at least half of those sacks were his fault, not the offensive line. Just holding on to the ball too long. That's been his issue his entire career. It was his issue at OU last year. They got to change that. They've got so many great weapons at Auburn this year. They should be much better than what they're showing right now.
I'm glad you mentioned you were at the A&M game because I'm still waiting to see what A&M is. I was so impressed with their offense at Notre Dame. Then they did what they did to Auburn. Here comes Florida. We had our buddy Forrester in the back had AI yesterday of Billy Napier opening a casket and popping up out of a casket. He's back from the dead yet again. Can Billy Napier keep this thing going this year? And it starts at Texas A&M this weekend.
I don't think so. They might beat A&M. I don't believe, my opinion, I don't think Billy Napier is going to be the head coach at Florida next season. He's practically going to have to be perfect from here on out to keep his job. It's too much pressure to make a change there. They've already got people in mind, boosters and stuff like that there. I'm certain of who they want to come in and replace them, who they feel good about being able to go get. But they might not make that change until the end of the season. But Napier has no breathing room right now. He's had so many second chances, and then he wins a game and he's able to kind of breathe a little bit more. He's going to have to win a lot of these remaining games to even have a chance to keep his job, in my opinion. I think we're in the death throes here.
All right, follow Brandon on social media at Marcello. You'll see when he drops the story or when CBS Sports drops the story that he has written. We have gotten an amazing tease from him. This is intriguing on this history with
now
Petrino.
It'll be completely underwhelming to everybody.
No. I can't wait to see what you've uncovered here.
Yeah, betting favorite's the brace. Second betting favorite is the motorcycle.
I like
and
when
then
Lance
down
said
the
the
list.
co-ed. Lance said the co-ed. That could be. All right.
Who said it's exactly related to Petrino though?
Oh, that's a good point. You just said a piece of Arkansas football history. Isn't that what you said?
Could be John L. Smith.
Arkansas football history.
Yeah.
Could be Chad Morris.
Could be Chad Morris. Yeah, where's he been? Where's that?
It could be that lost SEC win that he never had.
That's true. Yeah. I couldn't find that one.
I forget who. I think Arkansas won the game. It could be the dial-up phone that Richard Nixon called them on and gave them the national.
Back in '69, right?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay. All right, could be anything. We'll find out when the story drops. CBSSports.com. At B. Marcello on social media. Brandon, thank you very much for the time. It is always a pleasure talking with you, my friend.
All right, see you guys.
All right, buddy. Take care. Brandon with us on the Alexander Shinora Trial Attorneys Hotline.